In today's video, we're going to talk about prepping your skin for makeup. So today we're going to talk about how to prep your skin for makeup. And here's the thing, skin prep doesn't start when you open your makeup bag or when you grab that first brush. The best way to prep your skin to have flawless makeup is to have a really great skincare routine. That is the key. So anyone can put makeup on, but if we don't follow certain steps in our skincare routine, the makeup won't look as good as it could. And as we age, our skin changes. And so makeup application becomes even more difficult. Things that we used to do in our 20s and 30s don't work anymore when we get into our 40s and 50s. We have to change up the products, the techniques that we're using, and it really all starts with skincare. So today I'm going to walk you through the steps that I do to prep my skin for makeup. And don't worry about taking notes because I cover all of this in my most recent blog post, and I'll link that below in the description box. So first up, you obviously want to cleanse your skin. Now this might seem like a no-brainer. You're like, Dawn, I totally know that. But it's really important that you actually use a cleanser in the morning to cleanse your skin because we want to remove any dirt or oil on our skin. We want to remove any excess product that was left from the night before that maybe didn't absorb into our skin. Maybe you didn't cleanse your skin as well as you should have the night before and you still have a few traces of makeup on your face. So step number one in the morning is you want to make sure you're cleansing your face. Now, use a cleanser that is specifically targeted for your skin type. If you have dry skin, you would want to use a totally different type of cleanser than someone with oily skin. So again, step one, just grab a cleanser of your choosing, wash your face, and make sure that when you're washing your face, you use warm and not hot water. So I always recommend if you're washing your face in the shower, just make sure you turn the knob down just a little bit so that you're not hitting your face with scalding hot water, because I know we women love to take hot showers. So just make sure that you turn that water temperature down a little bit if you're gonna wash your face in the shower. Otherwise, just wash it at the sink, rinse your cleanser off, and pat dry. Next up, let's talk about exfoliation. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually exfoliate in the morning. I save my exfoliation for the evening, but I'm going to talk about it here because it's a really important part of our skin prep. Here's the thing. As we age, our dead skin cells that are on the surface of our skin do not turn over as fast as when we were younger. So those dead skin cells sit on top of your skin, making your skin tone look more uneven. It can make it look dry and textured. You could get flaky patches. It can kind of make the skin just look more sallow. So, you think about a little kid and they always look so fresh-faced. And as we age, that skin cell turnover slows and slows and slows. And so we have to kind of help that process along. So you'll want to make sure that you're adding in some type of exfoliation 2 to 3 times a week. Now, you can choose either a chemical exfoliator, you can choose a manual exfoliator. There's lots of different options out there, and you want to leave a couple of days in between. So I personally will exfoliate my skin twice a week because that's my routine that I have set. But again, you can do it 2 or 3 times a week. That is just going to help to speed up the process of sloughing off those dead skin cells. And removing those dead skin cells is going to help your skincare products absorb better and your makeup to go on smoother. So I always recommend to my clients that once you have a basic skincare routine of a cleanser and a moisturizer down pat, the very next thing you should be adding in is your exfoliation. So again, you could exfoliate in the morning. I personally do it in the evening because it saves time, but either way, just make sure you're incorporating that into your regular routine. Now, step number 3 is a toner. So a toner's job is to help balance the pH of the skin after cleansing. Certain cleansers can strip the skin and make it feel really tight and dry. And so one thing you can do, obviously, is make sure you're using a cleanser for your skin type, like I talked about just a few minutes ago. But if your cleanser does not contain toner, you can add a toner to help reset that pH balance. And there's different types of toners. So if you have dry skin, you could look for a hydrating toner. If you have acne prone skin, you could look for a toner that has salicylic acid. So lots of different options out there. And I would, again, just make sure that if your cleanser doesn't already contain this product, that is a step that you do after you cleanse. And that's also going to help to make sure that there's no traces of dirt or oil, impurities, or even remaining cleanser left on your skin. So after I cleanse my face in the morning, again, I save exfoliation for the evening, and my cleanser includes a toner. So after I cleanse my face in the morning, this is the time with a fresh, clean face to hit it with your targeted skincare solutions. So you can add things like boosters or serums. The thing that I do recommend is not to layer too many products in the morning underneath of your makeup. And the thing is that every product that we apply, number one, we need to make sure that we are allowing each product to absorb into the skin. And some products will absorb into the skin within like 30 seconds to a minute. Some of them are going to take upwards of 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes to absorb. I don't know about you, but I don't have, an hour to an hour and a half to prep my skin before my makeup. I need it to be done very quickly in the morning so I can get my makeup on and get out the door. So I limit the number of products I use in the morning to save time, but I also don't want to put so many products on my skin that are laying underneath of my makeup, because if we over moisturize or put too many products on our skin, we can potentially cause our makeup to separate or break down faster. So I limit my routine to 2 boosters in the morning. I have 1 booster for hydration and 1 booster for brightening. And that's where I stop. I save my serums for my evening skincare routine. You may need some extra serums during the day if you have like super dry skin or you have certain things that you're trying to target, but I would recommend limiting it to just a few products in the morning. Again, you're gonna wanna save a little bit of time, but you also just wanna make sure that you're not putting on too many products, too many layers of product underneath of your makeup. So as far as layering your products, if you're using a booster, you would apply that before your serums. A rule of thumb is that the thinner the product is, the earlier in your skincare routine you're going to use it. So you want to use products from the thinnest consistency and then get a little bit, of a thicker, heavier consistency, and that's the order that we would layer them in. So I am going to apply my booster for brightening first. I'm going to let that absorb into my skin. It absorbs very quickly, about 30 seconds to a minute. Then I would apply my second booster, which is for hydration. Let that absorb in again another 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm ready for my next step. Now, if you're applying a serum, depending on the consistency of that serum, it may absorb in as little as a minute, but you might need to wait upwards of 4 to 5 minutes if it's a thicker serum. So here's how you know when that serum is absorbed: when your skin no longer feels tacky and you don't feel products sitting on top of your skin. I would always recommend checking the packaging of your products and seeing if they recommend a certain amount that you should be applying. Some products have a type of pump that dispenses a certain amount. You want to make sure that you're not using too much product, again, especially when we're talking about putting makeup on. So if you've noticed that it's been 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you still feel like you have products sitting on top of your skin, you're probably using too much, or it might not be the right product for your skin type. Definitely pay attention to how the product is absorbing in, because again, excess hydration, excess product that's sitting on top of the skin is going to break your makeup down faster. Now that we've cleansed our skin and we've targeted the concerns that we have, it's time to hydrate. So if we do not hydrate our skin properly, the makeup is going to settle into fine lines. It's going to look dry. We might get dry, patchy areas. So hydration is so important for your makeup to go on really smooth and seamless. There's 2 types of hydration you want for your face. You want an eye cream and you want a facial moisturizer. So I do not recommend using your regular facial moisturizer around your eye area. And that is because the skin around your eyes is different than the skin on the rest of your face. It is a lot thinner, it is a lot more delicate. You do not have as many sebaceous glands, so it's a little bit more prone to dryness. And then we also deal with concerns around our eyes, such as puffiness, maybe dark circles, and eye creams are specifically targeted for the concerns that happen around your eye area. A regular moisturizer is not designed that way. So when I apply my eye cream in the morning, I will apply it underneath of my eye and around the outer edge. And you want to use your ring finger, you have the lightest touch, you're just going to tap that on, and again out here. Now, a lot of eye creams can be used on the brow bone, and I use my eye cream on my brow bone in the evening. However, I do not apply eye cream on my upper lid in the morning when I'm applying eye makeup, because I don't want to have too much hydration on my eyelid that might cause my makeup to separate or maybe not last as long. So it's really going to depend on your eyes. If your eyelids are dry, you probably need that extra moisture. But if you have oily eyelids, you probably want to avoid using eye cream on your lids, because it's going to just only exacerbate that problem when you're trying to wear makeup on top. Just play around with it and see what works for you. Now let's talk about our facial moisturizer. And here's the thing, your eye cream and your facial moisturizer, you can apply them in either order. It really doesn't matter, because your eye cream is going to just go around the eye area, and then the facial moisturizer, you're going to avoid the eye area. So you can put either on first, it really doesn't matter. So just like the cleanser, your moisturizer for your face is going to be based on your skin type. Even if you have oily skin, you need a moisturizer. A moisturizer is going to help to maintain the skin's moisture barrier, and it helps to prevent environmental damage to your skin. So when you're applying your moisturizer in the morning, really massage it into your skin. You can use an upward motion and applying it all over your face, again, avoiding your eye area, and you can bring it down your neck and your décolleté. If you wanted to use something like a quartz roller to massage it into the skin a little bit more, you could do that as well. Really make sure you've got the moisturizer massaged into your skin, and here's where you need to really wait. So you want to wait 5 to 10 to even 15 minutes before you start applying your makeup. So like I said earlier, we apply products from the thinnest consistency all the way to the thickest consistency. And our moisturizer is typically the heaviest or thickest product we're using. And we need to give it a proper amount of time to hydrate and absorb into the skin before we apply makeup. If you apply your moisturizer and about 30 seconds later you start applying your makeup is likely going to separate, and it is going to break down, and it is not going to last very long on your skin. So if you ever applied your foundation and then you look and you have all this separation, a lot of times you'll see it on your nose. One of the reasons for that is that you are not giving your moisturizer time to absorb into your skin. So here's what I do in the morning. After I apply my boosters, and then I let them absorb in, I take my eye cream and I apply that next, and then I will grab my moisturizer and I will massage my moisturizer in all over my face, and I want to give it a good 10 minutes to really absorb into my skin. So for me, that is a great time to maybe go let my dogs outside, grab a cup of coffee, or get dressed for work. So that's what I typically do, is I use that time to get my outfit on for the day, and then by the time I'm finished, it's time for me to go ahead and start on my makeup. But I think that's probably the hardest part, and I think that's where a lot of women are trying to rush through their routine in the morning. So figure out what your routine looks like, how many products you're going to use, and the amount of time you need to wait for each one to absorb in. And so if you need to build in little pockets of time of waiting 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes, use that time wisely to go do something else. Maybe it's getting dressed. Again, maybe it's, brushing your teeth. Maybe it's grabbing a cup of coffee, going to check your email, whatever that looks like for you. But just make sure you're giving each product time to absorb into the skin. Next, let's talk about SPF. It is so important to wear SPF every single day. So you can include your SPF in your skincare products, or you can add an extra layer of sun protection. So if you are using a moisturizer that does not contain any sunscreen, you can add a separate product that is specifically a sunscreen that is designed to go under makeup. So you could use a mineral sunscreen, you could use a chemical sunscreen, kind of whatever your preference is. And if you are going to do that, you want to give that product time to absorb into the skin as well. So for instance, if you're adding a mineral sunscreen on top of your moisturizer, you're gonna want to wait another 15 to 20 minutes for that product to absorb in. So again, we wanna look at the whole routine that we're gonna do in the morning and just really back it up and figure out how we're going to have time to layer all of these products, because we want our makeup to look flawless. We do not want to rush through these steps and apply our makeup on top of product that is not properly absorbed. So I personally like to use a day cream that includes my SPF, because you want to look for an SPF of at least 30, and you need to use a minimum of a half a teaspoon for your face and neck. And we're probably not going to get the right amount if we're just relying on our makeup. So we're typically not using that much makeup, and a lot of the makeup that you're going to find, the SPF is going to be a little bit lower. Like I personally use a CC cream for my everyday foundation. It has SPF, but it's only an SPF of 15. So I want to make sure that I'm getting my SPF 30 or more from my daily moisturizer. And for special concerns, I've linked my blog below in the description box. So in the blog, I go over if you have very dry skin, oily skin, or you have sensitive skin. So I'm going to go over a little bit of information that I'm not including in this video if you have those specific concerns. So again, I'll direct you to the blog to learn a little bit more about some extra things that you may want to add into your skin prep routine. Now, the last product I'm going to talk about is something that you may or may not want to add into your skin prep routine. This is something that I used to use every single day, and the more that I focused on my skincare routine, I actually don't even use this product anymore, and that is a foundation primer. A lot of people will say that a foundation primer is a must for your makeup prep. I personally don't believe that's true, and here is why. So a foundation primer will create a barrier between your skin and the makeup, and it can help to extend the wear of your makeup. There are multiple types of primers. There are gripping primers, there are mattifying primers, there's hydrating primers, and you may find that you need that for your skin. What I have personally found is that if I take care of my skin with the steps that I've discussed in this video, I'm cleansing my skin in the morning, I'm exfoliating on a regular basis, and I'm massaging my moisturizer into my skin. I'm giving my products time to absorb into my skin before I go on to the next step. My makeup goes on top of my skin very flawlessly, and I do not need a primer for my makeup to lay on my skin and look great. Now, if you have very, very textured skin, maybe you have some old acne scarring, maybe you just have some other issues and your skin texture is a problem for you, you may want to use a primer. Again, if you have very oily skin, you might want to use a mattifying primer, because that does create that barrier in between your skin and the makeup, so the excess oils in your skin don't break the makeup down as fast. So there are times where someone may need to use a primer, but you may not need a primer. So just because there's a product out there, just because you hear people talk about, oh, you need this product, really figure out what works for your skin, and you may find that you actually don't need that product. So I find that the more that I focus on skincare and prioritize that over makeup, the more I actually like my makeup. Because we think about our skin as kind of a blank canvas for that makeup. And if we don't take care of it, if we don't prep it well, our makeup is never going to look the way that we want it to look. So in conclusion, great makeup starts with great skincare. Build yourself a skincare routine that is formulated for your skin type and addresses your specific skin concerns. Once you know exactly which products you're going to use in the morning, then figure out how much time you need in between each of those products and lay out a schedule for yourself in the morning of when you need to start your skin prep, how much time you need in between those products. And again, find ways to fill those little pockets of time so you're not just sitting around wasting those precious moments in the morning. And layering products too quickly or using too much product is going to cause your makeup to pill, to apply unevenly, to break down quicker, or to even separate. Building a skincare routine takes trial and error, time, and patience. Give yourself some grace. Do not get frustrated if it does not happen super quickly overnight. It may take you a couple of weeks, a couple of months to figure out exactly what works for your skin. So again, once I started focusing more on my skincare routine and what I was doing to prep my skin, the more I began to love my makeup and how it looked on my skin. So I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you learned in this video. And if this video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.